Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Stacey. I'm so glad you're here. I'm an infidelity coach. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you want to know how to work with me, I work with men and women. Check the box down below and let's jump into this video. Okay, 7 reasons affairs last long term, like last for years. Affairs can last a long time, guys. I've had one client had an affair for 12 years. That's a really long time. So we need to find out what's making these affairs last for so long. Because it is a question, and I know some of the betrayed spouses that follow me want to know, why do they last so long? Like, I thought they would fizzle out. I thought this would be over. I thought, what's keeping them attached to this person? So let's get into it. Number 1, affairs last because the couple doesn't want to commit and they feel safe with each other not being fully available. This is a huge deal. I see it a lot where, you are giving me, think about it like a pie. Your affair partner is giving you like one piece of that pie, and then your husband and your family is giving you the rest. So I don't want to end my marriage to go be with this person, but yet I don't want to give this person up because there's that, one piece of what I'm getting. So I want to get my needs met, and you are comfortable because you're not fully available. And this happened to me also. I wanted to be with him, and I was making like plans to be with him. I was even making plans to divorce my husband. But yet I didn't want to be with him. There was still a fear there, and I felt safer, I felt safer being with him before he started talking about marriage and how he didn't have feelings for his wife anymore, how he just wanted to be with me. So I started to get a little of like fearful, and I had a lot of mixed emotions, okay guys? So you will hear me say this, and that comes along with having an affair. But when it became real in a sense where, oh my God, I have to pick between him and my husband, that's when I bailed out, because it was just safer when he was unavailable. Like, I thought he was more unavailable because I could get what I wanted from him and then get my other needs from my family. And I know that sounds selfish, and it is selfish. It's selfish on my part for both my affair partner and my husband, and that's one of the reasons why I left my affair partner too, because I knew that I was hurting him and hurting his family and mine and everything, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. But it is one of the reasons they last long term, is because we just don't really want to commit. And if you have an avoidant type of attachment style, you may feel more comfortable with not fully committing because of your fear of intimacy, so you might not want to commit. The second one is, unhappy marriage, fights. The marriage is not a priority. I've gone a long time without getting my needs met. We fight like cats and dogs. The marriage could really be abusive. We're just not getting along. We're not friends. There's no emotional connection between my husband and I anymore. And that can, in a marriage, people can settle into that kind of environment, and at first they might feel like it's uncomfortable and it's not fun, but over time they just, like I said, they settle into it and it becomes comfortable. So they just like, well, this is life, this is how it is. I'm not going to try to make the marriage change. I'm not going to, fight for my needs. It's just, it is what it is, whatever. I'm going to do my thing, you do your thing. And nobody ever really does anything to try to fix the marriage. So if one of the spouses are in an affair, they will just stay in an affair and stay in the marriage because nobody wants to do anything. They don't want to make decisions to change or, anything like that. So, number 3, lack of sex. I see this a lot. A lot of marriages get to a place where they just stop having sex with each other for whatever reason. Like, something is on my mouth. For whatever reason, but like a couple of reasons I've noticed is that resentment will set in. I'm not close to you. I'm mad at you. You don't spend time with me. Also, I don't feel emotionally connected to you. Therefore, I don't feel like I want to have sex. And again, nobody addresses the issues. I'm finding it a huge problem with couples that they do not know how to communicate with each other about their sex life. But it's not surprising, because if you don't communicate about your needs and your problems in the marriage, of course you're not going to communicate about the problems in your sex life. So there's a lack of sex, and if you're having an affair that is physical and emotional, you have that huge emotional connection and you have that physical connection, and nobody wants to give that up. Usually they're like, I don't want to sacrifice, now I'm having sex before I wasn't having sex. My affair partner and I, sexual preferences, like what we like to do, and my husband and I's sexual preferences are different. Like your husband might be conservative, he might like vanilla sex, and your affair partner might like spicy sex, and you might be the type that says, hey, I like the spicy handcuff type thing. I don't know, but if your affair partner is the same as you, then you're gonna connect, and you're like, well, I can enjoy sex better because when I get with my husband, it's just bland and boring because he doesn't want to do anything. Or vice versa, it can be the wife too. I'm just using the husband because that, I work with more women than men, but I do have men, so I hear them complain about a lack of sex. Well, my wife doesn't want to dress sexy, or she doesn't think it takes all that, and then she gets suspicious of why I want her to wear something sexy to bed. It's a whole mess. So they last long term because they're enjoying the sex with their affair partner and not their spouse. There's a problem in the marriage. Okay. Number 4, affairs are addicting. Affairs trigger the same pleasure hormones in the brain that other types of addictions do. So they can become addictive really quickly, because once your brain recognizes them as a source of reward, the next time your brain recognizes you're in distress with your spouse, or you're in distress at work or wherever, it's going to send you right back to your affair partner, because that's what our brains do. That's what they want to do. Like in distress, oh my God, you're in distress, you're upset. Okay, now I need to kick on my survival mode. Now I'm panicky. Now I need, now I'm having anxiety, that kind of thing. So you need to go back to where you got your last little dopamine hit, which is usually the affair partner. Oh, it's hot in here. Okay, so number 5, you build intimacy. They build a strong emotional connection and create a safe space, and there's a lot of validation there. So emotional connection is the foundation to intimacy, and to real lasting intimacy. If I can feel safe being myself with you, and without being judged, if I can be my quirky self and say some crazy funny things and you're gonna accept me, then I'm creating intimacy. If we have an issue and we get through it, then we're creating intimacy. So there's a lot of emotional intimacy that is going on in an affair, and they have created that type of foundation. Now affairs don't have a foundation in a sense where a marriage might. If you go into an affair with lies and deception, that's a part of your foundation also, and it just won't last. But that emotional connection makes it really hard to walk away from, because you are my person, you accept me. So number 6, it's a coping mechanism. We cope with emotional upset by looking for something that feels good. Just like I talked about earlier with the brain, we use the affair partner as a way to cope, as a way of an escape. We create a world with them. I've said this many times. They are our safe space. They are our escape. When things get hard, we can go be with them, get refreshed, go back and face what we need to face. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that, if our marriage is over, then we have the courage to walk away from it. If our marriage is abusive, then we have the courage to end that. We don't want to use an affair to fuel us staying in an abusive marriage. So let me just put that disclaimer out there. We don't want to use an affair to escape from our life. We really want to learn good coping skills. Okay, number 7. The romantic stage is extended. Unfortunately, the romantic stage with an affair can be extended because there's not a lot of connection on a daily basis, where there's not a lot of freedom. So the romantic stage is that part where you fall in love and you have all these chemicals, going on in your body, and it generally lasts, maybe 6 months to a couple of years. But when you're having an affair and you can only text a couple of times during the day, or you can text all day, or you can only see each other once a week, it is extended. That's one of the reasons it's extended. Another reason is you're not really doing life together, and you don't have a chance to resent your affair partner yet. You don't have a chance to get to the place where you're mad at them, or you don't like who they are, or you're fighting and they don't get you. You haven't gotten to a place, you haven't gotten to that power struggle stage in a relationship yet, and that just keeps you attached to them. But let me say this. A lot of affair partners, relationships, they do get to the power struggle stage, and it does end when they get there because they didn't build the trust foundation in the beginning, and because they are committed to someone else. Somewhere, either both of them are committed in a marriage, or one is married, one is single, and you cannot have a relationship when you're committed to someone else. There's no foundation there. So this is some of the reasons that I have discovered why affairs last so long, and they can last a long time. People can go in this and they can hide it well. I think the longer it goes, the worse it is. The deeper you get, the more connected you get. I think it's harder to end an affair in the beginning of the affair relationship, but I think it's worth it in the end because you're not as entangled with them as you would normally be should you have extended it for years. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye.